Morning everyone. So doing Vlogmas every couple of days over the Christmas period has not gone too well. Gone to plan. I'm getting sort of a bit of weird glare. So a lot of it's to do with my computer. It's very slow, and my internet. It takes a long time to upload the clips off my camera, and then when they're there, and then I upload them into my editing app. And I had made one video, and it was such a long video, and I was trying to make it so I could try and splice it, and it just kept freezing, and it wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do, and it seems to take ages to load stuff up. So this video is probably going to be the preface for Vlogmas 3 if I remember. We'll say, but it's been quite a busy couple of certainly a busy week. It's now Sunday, I think 21st of December, but I'll put this on Vlogmas 3, which is right back at the beginning of the month. But yeah, we've had quite a lot of exciting things going on. I spent most of last week I was helping my boyfriend on his farm because they were TV testing the cattle. I didn't take any videos or any clips or anything like that. It was just quite full on. It's been a long time since I've done a real lot of serious cattle work. I helped him vaccinate a couple of weeks ago just to kind of get my hand in. But it went really, really well. We were TV clear. There were no issues, no cattle got out and were free ranging or anything, and everything went really, really well. And I just helped him a little bit to do feeding up and bedding up either side of the testing, which took most of the day. I was at work one day last week, and then I've been doing bits of Christmas shopping, trying to plan that kind of thing. I feel like I've had no time whatsoever, so there's probably going to be a big gap in camera footage. But Friday evening, we also had a lot of excitement because we've had 2 of our ewes of land. And in true rubbish YouTuber fashion, I haven't taken my camera off, so I'll take it today to see. One of them, she was sort of my bogey sheep of this year. I always seem to have one who the previous year we had a real issue with, and so then when she lambs again the next year, I always worry about her. And she had 2 dead lambs last year. I couldn't get them out, so I got the vet. We knew they were dead because we could tell, and so I had to get the vet to come, and she said, oh no, she feels really strange inside. If I was you, I wouldn't put her to the tub again. And I was like, well, at that point she was the most expensive ewe on the farm. She's a lovely ewe. She has a wonderful personality, really sweet nature, and it was just so disappointing. I was really sad. So we just decided, we won't lamb her, and she can just be an extremely expensive field ornament. And then obviously my tup had different ideas, got in with her and tupped her. So at scanning time, when the scanning lady said, oh, this ewe's in with twins, we were, we don't want that. But anyway, so yesterday I had a single lambed just around tea time, so I had my tea really, really late, and that was fantastic. She had it all on her own. And then I was watching on the camera, and I could see my other ewe, Isabella, was messing about, digging a hole in a corner, moving around, digging it near the troughs. And so I rang my mum and I said, is that you lambing? And they were going up there anyway, so I was in the bath, so my hair was wet through, so I quickly tied it all up, put a hat on, and came out, and sure enough, she was lambing. I went to go and get all my gloves and everything, and my dad said, there's a lamb, I can see it. And she had it, the first one on her own. My dad just pulled it all the way because we wanted to make sure its airways were clear. She had a gimmer lamb, which was fantastic, and she loved it. She was cleaning her off. And then there was a second one coming, but she was so busy messing around with the first one and so obsessed with that one that she wasn't getting on with lambing the second. So we gave her sort of an hour, and then in the end I thought, right, I'll have to just intervene. So I did, and and it was fine. It was in the correct position and everything. I just helped it. It was more once I'd put my hand in. Sorry if anybody's really squeamish. Once I'd put my hand in, she was pushing because she wanted my hand out, but that was also pushing the lamb forward. And it was positioned right because you want a lamb to have its feet like that under its chin. So I just pulled one leg, and sure enough, everything else came out at once. And she had a tuck lamb. I won't keep him entire because he isn't perfectly marked. He's missing a knee marking, but healthy, brilliant. I was really worried they wouldn't be able to latch on to suckle because her teats are really low down. But anyway, the gimmers managed to get on, and so I milked out a little bit just to make sure I knew that the little tuck lamb had had a good dose of colostrum, and that was absolutely fine. So that was Friday night, got in about midnight after being exhausted from the week. But you know, really happy, amazing result from that. So it's just meant that everything I was going to do Christmas present wrapping, that's not happened, and I'm now really far back. So I'm just going to make my gingerbread now. I've got everything ready, but the first job to do, and I don't know if my pan's big enough, is I'm just going to do my ham, because I'm going to do the ham tonight if John's coming for tea, and then I'll have that. Then that means I can have that for sandwiches and for teas the rest of this week. Although it's Christmas Eve on Wednesday. How is that even possible? Cannot believe it. So that's it. I keep doing this thing. Oh, I think Mara's sort of casting me a bit of shadow there. I keep doing this thing where I keep turning it onto photo instead of a video, and then I'm like talking into it, and I can't understand why. Nothing's recording. Oh, Mara's jumped down now. So I've got home from my little trip out with Mum today. We went to the designer outlet after we'd finished at Rydale, and then we had to quickly rush back, or as quickly as we could, on the A64. It was chocker from the Hop Grove roundabout more or less to where the science centre is, the science research centre, I can't remember what it's called, because we had to be back in time before dark to feed up. So we don't have that many sheep that we're feeding on the farm at the moment. There's the lambs in the bottom field. I just give them a little bit just to help keeping them going. We feed, I have some teeny tiny little lambs, just some little ones that sort of, they were smaller twins, or there's a set of twins, they were Rosie's lambs, and they were just a bit little, and they've always been just a bit little, so we still feed them. And also I have a single gimmer that she was one that she was born, and she was real small when she was born. It was when we were lambing, and we'd done the first lot, and then I wanted to bring the next lot in, and just as we had them in the pen, my mum went round the corner and started screaming, going, "There's a lamb in this pen, there's a lamb in this pen." And a second timer, she was a shearling, but she was a second timer because she accidentally lambed as a lamb herself the year before. A little Suffolk called Peggy, she'd had her lamb, and it was alive but real small and real weak, and we were really bothered that it wouldn't do very well, so I put them, they were penned up with a heat lamp over them, and I had to tube the lamb to begin with. Poor mum, she was absolutely starving, so we got plenty of food down her. I think I milked her out, tubed the lammet, and then we were gonna do it again. I don't really like tubing, but I will do it. And anyway, my mum said, well, I'll just try her on the bottle. And anyway, she got latched onto the bottle, so we gave her a bottle. Next day, she was sucking off mum, and she was fine. And so she reared her. She was always a little bit smaller, but poor Peggy is, because obviously she had that bit of trauma with being ending up breeding earlier than expected, so she's never quite grown as much. So she was always a bit littler, was her lamb, and we knew we were going to keep her anyway, and she's a border Leicester out of a Suffolk, and so she's just in with Rosie's too. So there's them three, they get fed, and then obviously I have all my valet ewes, which we got scanned the other day, and I'm hoping tomorrow I might be able to do a little video just to show you what our scanning results were and talk through it a little bit more, our plans for it. But they're obviously getting fed, because some of them are quite advanced in lamb as well, and we've discovered, looking at one today, she looks very, very advanced. So they need to have, the nutrition needs to be right. And then I also have jollies up in the top field with 4 ewes, but they're timed to lamb at the same time as the main flock. So hopefully, well, they should all be in lamb now, and I want to pull him out. I need to pull him out of them, but I don't know where to put him because we're trying to keep one field empty. So that just might take a little bit of thinking about. So we did all that, fed everybody, and then I had bought, while we were shopping, some fancy chocolate from the Lindt shop. So we decided I wanted to try the Dubai chocolate. Well, I didn't want to try it, but we'd gone into the Lindt shop because I wanted to buy something from there anyway, and they had a big sort of corner all devoted to this Dubai chocolate, and Mum and I were looking at it, and it was £10 for a packet this size, so that's 145 grams, £10, and we're not paying that. I mean, Lindt is expensive anyway, but it's nice chocolate. I've got my friend's little girl a little teddy bear. I bought, don't listen to this, Dad, I bought my dad some chocolates, and I've got John some, which will probably be for John and his mum and his dad, over Christmas. And I was just stood at the counter waiting, and I'd heard, because there was a massive queue, and I'd heard them say something like, oh, they are short dated, and they had like a stack of these in like a little point of sale by the counter, and they were £3, and the best before date is the 30th of the 11th, which is then sort of in about 9 days. So I thought, oh, we'll try it, I fancy it, and I need to sort this out because it really distracts me when the camera goes off. But one of the girls from work, she's just come back from Dubai, and she'd brought some of the proper Dubai chocolate, because obviously this is just like a style of it. And one of the nurses offered me some, and I said, oh no, because I am that person that if somebody offers me something, I'll go, oh no, because I don't know, it feels quite impolite to take stuff, and I knew how expensive it would be. But I thought, oh, it's £3, we'll try it. So it's milk chocolate with a pistachio paste filling and crunchy kadayif pastry. Now, Mum and I were arguing because she thought the crunchy bits she could taste were pistachio, but that sort of says they're a paste, and the crunchy part is actually the pastry. Anyway, so we tried it. We each had, Dad had some, Mum had some, and I had some. And it's obviously the milk chocolate's lovely because it's Lindt. And I would say it was nutty and crunchy, but I wouldn't say strongly pistachio flavoured. I don't know what the pastry's meant to taste like. It was nice. I enjoyed eating it, and I'll take some when I next go to John's. But I would have been very disappointed if I'd paid £10 for it. I don't think it's quite worth that. I'll tell you what I probably would spend £10 in is, years ago we used to go to the Nürburgring, and I've probably got rid of the packet now. In Germany we used to go into like the supermarkets and stuff, and they used to sell a Lindt chocolate, and it was a Lindt Lindor, and it was dark chocolate in a bar, same shape and everything as this, and it was Lindt chocolate, so Lindt base, dark chocolate, with then a chocolate mousse, and then with a strawberry mousse on top, and then encased in in the dark chocolate. And it was the best chocolate ever, and it was my favourite chocolate. And then they changed it and they put pfeffer in the strawberry. I didn't like that. And then I've never ever seen that chocolate again, and it was my favourite chocolate in the world, and so I would probably pay a tenner for that. And it would be the kind of thing where I wouldn't eat it because it was so fancy, and then it would go off. People say chocolate doesn't go off, but it does go off. I mean, I had a little bit of a mental health episode the other week. Well, not really. It wasn't that. It was that's quite a wrong way of putting it. I had a bit of a thing happened the other week, and I was really, really cross when I came home one day, and so in a fit of rage, I started eating, I bit the head off, the Lindt bunny that I'd bought John as an Easter egg that he then never took home. And then when I said about it the other day, shall we eat that Lindt bunny, he said, oh no, its best before date was August. Well, it was fine, and I mean there's still a bit of it left, but that's also why I then went and bought the chocolate today from Lindt, because I felt bad that I'd eaten this, because he was then asking me about it, and I was like, I'm sure there isn't a lot of it left. So I've just come in now and I've lit the fire. Maura is now passed out on my knee because I'm sat by the fire, hence why there's a bit of a glow this way. I have a chimney sweep coming next week on Tuesday. I've had to ask my dad very nicely because I've double booked myself, because I've booked this chimney sweep. It's been booked in since September. There was a concert I was wanting to go to on Tuesday night, but I've just decided I don't think I can make it. I don't think it's quite going to work for me. However, it's the Christmas stock show and sale at Malton Market, and John's taking some heifers in, so I want to go with him to that. And I always think the Christmas show is nice, so I will go and do that. And the chimney sweep is coming at 11 o'clock, and that's when they'll start selling everything. So I've had to ask my dad quite nicely, will he come and be here for when the chimney sweep comes, because it hasn't been swept for a little while. I mean, in winter I don't light the fire every day because I do find it eats logs, does my fire, with it being an open fire, and I don't find it very economical, and I would rather have the heating on, I think. But it is nice as a treat, and I thought it'd be a nice treat tonight for the cats, and clearly it is because Maura's laid on my knee, Luna's come running in, and I dare say Kittle and Pear as well. But it needs to have a good sweep, and the guy that used to come and sweep the chimney, he's long since retired now. So it would just be quite good to get it swept again. So yeah. So we came back from York. We had a nice time. I always used to like going around the designer outlet. It was one of my favourite places to go. I can't say I'm much of a designer brand kind of person, but the York one isn't massively designer branding. But I will say, obviously I have my very beaten up Michael Kors handbag that came from there years and years ago that Mum bought me. I've got my Michael Kors purse as well. These have all been presents. I also have my sunglasses and Michael Kors. I did see a thing on Instagram the other day where it was you could apply to be a Michael Kors ambassador, but you needed to have over 1,000 followers, and I don't quite have 1,000 followers on either TikTok or Instagram, and I don't think it could be combined. So please follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and then I can be a Michael Kors ambassador, and I'll probably be the most different Michael Kors ambassador they would ever have. I also have a little clutch bag and a little matching purse, and I have a dress and a skirt. Nothing has ever been bought full price because obviously I'm a broke girly, so I can't quite afford them. But yeah, so we went into Michael Kors just to look around. I am sort of half in the market for a new handbag, but I love that one and I've had it for years, and I'm fairly certain it has a bit of space left in it, but a bit of life left, sorry. We went mainly shopping for presents, so I've got a few bits, although I ended up buying a flannel shirt for myself. What else did I buy? I got a couple of beauty things. There's like a beauty shop, and also we went to the Rydale event before, and I got some jogging bottoms and a fleece from there for me. I only have 9% battery, so I'll probably have to shut up soon, but I will do like a little mini haul. But I'm just sat here getting the fire going. It was blazing out of control, but it's now kind of petered down to sort of a nice warm state, so I can kind of deal with that. And I've just been watching a video from a year ago from Josie Irons. I like to sort of watch all the kind of seasonal ones at once, so I can kind of relate to the season. And I've watched most of her recent ones for this time of year, so now I've gone back a year, and I'll sort of try and watch these all in sequence. I'm going to put this camera on charge, which will upset Maura a great deal. I'll just show you. I've got Maura here, and then Luna here. And then I will resume once it's charged up a bit. Oh, I pressed the play button, the record button, before I was ready. So it's a bit later on. I haven't fully charged the camera, but I thought I'd do it now. I've had my tea, I've got the fire going, and I was just sat on the settee, and Luna had come to sit on my knee. That's why I'm stroking here. And I was falling asleep. Hang on a minute. Pause the TV. I was falling asleep because I've got a nice fire going. You can see by my rosy glow. And I thought, do you know, I can't have another. It's only 8:15 and I can't fall asleep. I went to bed at like 9:15 yesterday, and it's such a waste of the time on the evening. And I thought, I'm a bit even too hot sat here. But I thought, I have to do something, even if I just do a little vlog that I'll probably never even get round to uploading. But I wanted to show you the things I bought today. Right, I'm going to put the guard on the fire because it's kicking out so much heat, so I've just put an extra log on. So this jumper, I've had it for ages. I can't even remember when I bought it, but it's from M&M Direct. It's a brand called Foxy something? Foxdale, and it's a really cute sort of military-esque jumper, and it has, you probably can't see, but the little buttons, they have foxes on, and I just wanted a nice jumper, and I actually think there's something in khaki green that I quite fancy, but I'll show you what I got. So Mum and I went to the Rydale event, which they have twice a year at York Auction Centre. It was freezing. It was so cold in there. I think I did take some videos of saying how cold it was. But I bought a nice fleece here for me, which has a nice sort of colour contrast on the back. This was the Ladies Kelk overhead pheasant fleece, and it was £16. So it's just a quarter zip fleece. And I just thought it was really nice. I might save it for maybe the nicer things, like when we're going to market and stuff like that. I think it'd be quite nice to wear. Maybe on Tuesday when I go to the show and sale. Then, because I think it was Easter time, I bought some jogging bottoms at the last Rydale event, and they are the comfiest jogging bottoms, and they wash and still stay really soft, whereas I've bought ones from other brands before and they haven't, so I wanted some more. I did want they had pheasant ones in green, and I really wanted them, but they only had them in a 6 or 16, and anyway, these are the same as what I've already got, and these are an 8, which might be a little bit snug for me. I do prefer a 10, but they were £10, and I think they'll be fine. And then I can just sort of interchange the two, you know, put one in the wash and wear the other lot. So I'm happy with that. And then because we'd pre-booked our ticket, we got a free pair of socks with every purchase. So I got these. They're just little ankle socks with horses on. And I just thought that was a nice little sweetener. So these should have been, I think, £5.99. So that was nice to get a little freebie. So I'm really happy with them. Obviously, all purchases for me. I was meant to be doing Christmas shopping, but anyway. Then we went to the designer outlet, which I really like the designer outlet. It's been a long time since we've been there. I probably can't show you anything. Oh, I will show you this. So this is my hat. This is just one of my farm beanie hats. It says "You First" on it, and I got it free with doing a I'll put it on, model it for you. I got it free in a lambing. It was like a lambing kit. There was just various bits and pieces in, and I got it for free last year, and I wore it. I have this one, and I have another beanie hat. I have 3. One of them's really quite old now, and I've lost that hat for ages. I've not been able to look at it. I've looked all over Mum and Dad's, I've looked all over here, and today Mum and I were sat in Cafe Nero having a snack, and I wore my Ridgeline pullover smock, the rhubarb one, and I don't wear that at the farm because it's too nice and it isn't quite warm enough or waterproof enough, and I don't want to get muck on it, so I tend to wear it when we go out to do something. And I put my hand in the pocket, and I was like, why is this pocket really full? And I've taken my fingerless gloves off and put them in my handbag, and I was like, well, it can't be them. And that hat was in it, so that hat's been missing for ages. So I'm very pleased that hat, especially because I was looking at hats today as well, because I was going to buy one, and I do wish I had bought one from Rydale, but they were one of the full price things, so I should think we'll be in the shops in Yorkshire Trading or something like that. So I bought my mum, it's called Reeve Eternal, so it's a dupe perfume, and it's meant to smell like Coco Mademoiselle. No, Miss Dior. Yeah, Miss Dior. Whichever perfume that Natalie Portman advertises, I'm sure that's Miss Dior. Then I bought myself a soft foam sponge, which I'm not entirely sure what it's made of, because I did read a thing that said you shouldn't use loofahs because they're unhygienic, but that's probably made of something fake and isn't a thing. And then I got this, mainly because it has the word honey on it, and I'm obsessed with anything to do with honey. For me, a smoothing honey peel-off mask that can just go in my bathroom cupboard and I'll never do anything with. Then I went to Mountain Warehouse, which is one of our usual places, and I've bought this. So a lovely ladies flannel shirt. I think it should have been about £40. I don't know the price on. It was very expensive, but I got it for 15. So I thought that was really nice. I just wanted a nice shirt to wear at farm. And then, and hopefully, I can't imagine he's going to see this, but John, if you are watching it, look away. And then I got John, it's in green, you probably can't tell because of the lighting in here, it kind of matches my curtains. And I got John a matching one as well, and they're really lovely and soft shirts. And that'll be part of his Christmas present. So that was that. And then the last thing was we went to Lindt and I showed you the Dubai chocolate. I've got some nice chocolates there. I'm just covering up what flavour they are. And then a cute festive selection box which has in it milk chocolate truffles, a Lindt teddy, a golden raindrop and a Santa milk chocolate, and then another set of truffles. So one I've got the smooth chocolate filling and the other one's got a white filling. I'm presuming it means white chocolate. And then the little Lindt teddy bear for my friend. Well, for my friend's little girl. So that's it. So I haven't done too crazy with shopping today, chiefly because I can't afford to. It's been quite an expensive month. I did have a few deliveries, some more Christmas presents came on Dad's, which I won't show you. Then I got, now this is a subscription service that I signed up to ages ago. It's called Silk on Me, which my mum did think when it came, she thought they were silk stockings. I was like, oh no, nothing quite as racy as that. They're jewellery, and I don't know, they're sent from the EU, I think they're from France, and I've had issues with getting them. You know, they'll say they've dispatched them and then it can take up to a month to get here, and I've had some really beautiful things off of them. Some of the things are a bit unusual, but I usually get sort of 2 or 3 jewellery things. So this is, I'm presuming, an anklet because it is tiny. I mean, like, if it sort of that's goes, and it just has, it's like a little, almost like a dog collar kind of pendant thing. I mean, I do have tiny wrists, so I could probably, obviously it has like the extender there, but then this is the necklace that came with it, which is lovely. It's a real sparkly, pretty necklace. So if you want a code, you'll have to message me, because I think I do have a code which I can share with people to get your first box. I think, is it postage free, or just pay the postage, something like that, and you can get some nice jewellery there. And I get them monthly, but so this month I've actually had 2 deliveries because the last one didn't come, and I think it must have just been delayed, and I think I'm still expecting another one to come. But that's just something nice, considering I'm somebody that I do something that I don't wear jewellery for, because obviously I don't want it to get damaged or anything. It's quite funny that I have ordered, I do get jewellery through, but you know, it's nice. I try, obviously, sorry, I just keep tapping the screen. I do try to wear jewellery if I can in my day job. Then this is something I got for my uncle for his birthday. Now his birthday's just passed and it didn't come in time, but he's away on holiday, so I will wrap it up for him when he gets back. But I ordered this off Amazon. There was a little bit of glare from the TV, and it's basically an art print of his favourite football club, is the club he supports, Nottingham Forest Stadium, and it's by Art by R. Joe Ayo. So if anybody wants anything like this, I just got it off Amazon, and it's amazing it's a lovely, I really like that it's not just of the stadium. It's quite an unusual angle to have it, and it's obviously done with, I think, watercolour and pen, and I just think it's a really cute thing. So I got that for my uncle, which I'll wrap it up and he can have that when he gets back off his holidays. And the other thing that came is actually from my uncle as well, is the other part of his Christmas present. So I've got a few Christmas presents sort of slowly getting in the bag. I have a few more things to order. I am in need of some cash, so I will have to draw something out of my PayPal, and also I have some money in a cashback app which I've been using when I've been buying Christmas presents for people, gift cards and stuff like that, just to get a little bit of money back. So I'm going to pull that out, I think, and that can go towards a few more gifts. So I still have quite a few people to buy for. I have ideas, and I've got in my diary, I've been writing down sort of what I've been thinking for people, so I just need to start ordering things. And I would love to say that I'm going to be really, really organised and wrap everything up in good time and not leave it till a couple of days before Christmas, which is what I usually do. But wrapping presents isn't one of my favourite things. I mean, there aren't very many things that are my favourite things, but because I struggle with my hands and sort of telling my hands what to do, I get sort of, I call them sticky fingers. I find having the coordination to be holding the paper, putting the sellotape in place and stuff like that, I struggle with that. I probably would be better if I had one of those sellotape things that like you pull and you snip it off and then you're able to, and I always feel like the table that I'm using wants to be higher up. I want to be sort of doing things at this, because when I'm having to lean down, I don't know, it's just me probably just being very strange. So I've got a cup of tea now. I have all these clothes to put away. I also have a load of washing that this morning before I went to the farm I just dumped on the bed. I folded it all up and then just left it because we were running out of time, because I knew we wanted enough time to feed up and then get to York so we could have most of the day. But we were very surprised at how busy the designer outlet was. The car park was rammed. It wasn't too bad to find a park, but there was an awful lot of cars. You know, every single car park was full with only 1 or 2 spaces. And you know, it was a Friday. I don't know whether people have been taking the Fridays off. Obviously they have the Winter Wonderland, where they have the ice skating and they have the fun fair and stuff like that, so whether that's drawing people in. But even walking around, you know, I had to queue for maybe 10 minutes in Lynch. Where else was there a big queue? I couldn't even get into Whittard because there was just so many people in there, and I just wanted to look at the chocolates, and then there was a really tall man and he was drinking one of the tester things, and every which way I went he was stood in my way. So I just thought, do you know what? I've seen that the hot chocolate is on offer for 2 for £21. Well, I am doing that, so I just walked out. Everywhere to eat was really, really busy. We were quite lucky to get in at Cafe Nero, where we had our little sort of afternoon cake and coffee type thing. And people were buying, people were spending money. You know, there was people walking around with bags and bags and bags, and they weren't just like me with like my little shopper bag and my lint bag. You know, they had Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, you know, bags from the big Skechers shop that had shoe boxes in it, and like Skechers aren't even cheap anymore. We used to buy Skechers, you know, 10-15 years ago, and they were maybe £30, £20 a pair. Even in a discount place they seem to be £60-70. They're expensive. So for all that people seem to be saying there's no money around and things like that, clearly people have it to spend it. But I'm trying not to go too overboard this year. I think possibly already have on a few people, but you know, I'm trying to rein it in. I did really want to try and buy things from independent stores, local people, but sometimes it just isn't possible, and I struggle to find things for certain people. I have I've saved quite a few things on my Facebook that I've seen that I think, ooh, so-and-so makes these, so I'm going to go back and buy them from them. So that'll be nice to try and support a few independent places. But yeah, so that's sort of in our Friday today. Now tomorrow we are going to go and I think bring Isabella in. So Isabella's my Valley Black Nose ewe. She was the first one we bought last year. She scanned in lamb as twins and I had to get the vet to come out and lamb 2 dead ones out of her. We weren't planning on putting her to the tub this year because it wasn't a straightforward birth, and unfortunately the tub had different ideas and she's scanned in twins again. And she has been, well, a couple of weeks ago she was lame on her front foot. I had a look, I couldn't see anything. I got a little bit of muck out from between her toes and that was it, and she seemed fine. And anyway, today she was really badly lame on her front foot. I had a look, I still couldn't see anything, but she was a bit funny about me looking, so I want to properly have a look tomorrow. It definitely looks like it's overgrown, and if it's overgrown it might be hiding something, so I want to have a look at that. But when she was eating and she'd, with her being lame, she'd gone down on her front knee, so she was sticking her bum in the air, and she's got quite a considerable pair of double D's coming, so that's now making us think, oh, is she a bit further along in lamb than we thought? We kind of are expecting her to be maybe 16th, 17th of December. So it's only, you know, she's only a month off, but really she shouldn't be bagging up as much as that. So I need to sort her foot out anyway, and I want to keep a really close eye on her condition, making sure she's getting the correct nutrition from her food to try and avoid the same thing that happened last year, because last year she very, very quickly lost condition, and I mean she'd gone from being the biggest, strongest ewe that I had to very suddenly being razor-backed. And I was quite, you know, when the vet came and lambed and she was like, has she always been this thin? And I was like, oh, she wasn't thin like when I last gave her a good feel a couple of days ago. So whether it was whatever had happened to the lambs was really affecting her. So we're going to try and just keep a really close eye on her, and fingers crossed, touch every wood that you have, we'll have a safe and healthy delivery of 2 lambs and all will be okay. We'll probably bring in, because I can't just bring in one by herself, we'll probably bring in maybe 2 of the smaller ewes. I have 2 first timers, Lara and Luby. They're both scanned as singles, and they are maybe slightly less conditioned to all the others. I think just because they're a bit prima donna-ish, and we made the problem of we were feeding them separately, so now they're used to being fed separately, and so they don't necessarily push in at the trough as much as the others. So we'll probably bring them in and they can be Isabella's companions. At some point this weekend we also need to go to one of our other grazings and pull 2 ewes out of there as well, because I had in with the Border Leicester, there's 3 that haven't been topped, and this is really annoying because 2 of them are my pedigree Border Leicesters, my only purebred Border Leicesters, and then the other one is Jessica, who is a Border Leicester cross Blueface Leicester. All of them first timers. One of them is very, very small, that's Little Wisp, and I wasn't expecting her to get in lamb this year, to be honest. We thought we would just try it and see, but she maybe is just a little bit too small. So I'm happy that she, you know, if she's in lamb, that's okay. And he hasn't covered her, and marked her, so she'll go again for next year. But I was disappointed he hadn't done Jessica and disappointed he hadn't done Willow, the other border. But then my mother has had this brainwave that when Jolly, the valet, got in to tup Isabella, and he tupped a couple of them, he in a couple of separate occasions he got in that field and tupped some of the valet, Jessica was in there. So we are thinking, did he maybe catch her? So that's great that I know if he did cover it. And I looked at her and thought, you looking far too broad, in too good a condition to just be on grass. So I think she's in lamb. So that's great that she's in lamb, because I was thinking, oh no, she gelled, oh no. Because she was a pet lamb and she's very special to us and all of that. But obviously I wanted her to go to the Border Leicester. I wanted to have Vincenzo's lambs, and she's going to have a valet, so it's going to be a valet black nose cross border cross Brewfest Leicester. So it's going to be very strange, the lamb. A friend of mine has already kind of called dibs on if she has a gimmer lamb, so that's fair enough, but we'll see. But it's just not the ideal situation. And again, when we came back from Thorndale Show, because Jolly had obviously getting in with the valet, I just thought, we'll just put him in with the valet use and he can just tup them and it'll be fine, and then they'll all lamb similar sort of time. Unfortunately, in that field, I still had Willow. So we must have moved Jessica before then, but we still had Willow in there. And I was thinking, oh, she won't be. I think I actually did say to myself, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Jolly tucked her? Well, now I'm thinking, Jolly has tucked her. She don't look as well as Jessica does, so I'm thinking she isn't as far as long. But if these valets are going to lamb sort of from mid-December into mid-January, she wants to be in with them. Again, that's really frustrating because she was quite expensive, and obviously the purpose of her was to go to Vincenzo, so then I would have purebred, registerable Border Leicester lambs, and I'm not going to have that. You know, he tucked all the Border Leicester gimmers of our own bred more or less straight away. They were about the first ones he did. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they are a breed that can cycle early. I know a girl I know who I've seen sort of on the show circuit a bit. Her Border Leicester, she scanned hers before we even scanned our valet. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's the case. So then there will be a bit of an unfortunate cross, but it is what it is. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But they just need to go and be caught and brought home from Napton, so that might be a task in itself. But if that's true, then Vincenzo's tucked everybody apart from Wisp, and that's okay if he doesn't tuck Wisp. And we think the Suffolk as well, we think he's tucked everybody. He's had 2 occasions where he's lost his Rydale. So even though some of them don't have marks, we're thinking he's lost the crayon and he will have covered them then. There is one Scotty that I didn't manage to trim her tail up because she won't come in the pen and we couldn't get her caught. She doesn't have a mark on. She should be cycling because she's lambed the past couple of years. So we've had, lambs out of her. So I'm wondering, did he catch her as well? So fingers crossed we'll have lambs across the board. Obviously, with the Suffolk, it's Thumbelina, who I don't expect to be in lambs, that's fine. But it would be really nice for when the scanning man come, if he just says there's only maybe the little Border Leicester than it in lamb, that would be fine. I'd be happy with that. I think there was another one that I thought, oh well, if you don't get in lamb, it's okay because you've done quite a bit for us. But really, on the whole, all the ewes look in excellent condition. Yes, we've had to spend quite a bit of money to feed them to keep them on condition with the drought that we had. But fingers crossed, we'll have a good lambing time. So I think my cup of tea will be about cold now because I've chatted to you for ever so long. Luna's laid on the little seat here, I'll show you, looking very sulky. I have all my clothes to put away, various jobs to do. So just going to get on with those now, but it was nice chatting to you all. Hopefully I will try and remember to bring my camera tomorrow if we do anything with the sheep, and I'll try and talk you through our plans for the valet.